on it. So I think it should still be a competitive game, so long as Tempo Storm didn't let that last map get to him.
One thing we didn't see, though, the last time that Tempo Storm played was them executing too often on A. It was quite surprising in actual fact. But regardless, we are live into map number 4. It's going to be Cash. Tempo Storm starting on the CT side. Virtus.Pro already very aggressively making a move into Garage for mid. And with that smoke connecting in the connector itself, you fancy like this is going to be a fast play onto B. Neo's going to be throwing the smoke into CT side. Meanwhile, Showtime holding the close angles. Going to land one frag, looking for a second one, but Taz in midair will sweep him away. 2 for 1. Make that a 3 for 1 now. Bolts and N1. Going to try and do something special with this USP and P2000. Bolts misses his chance. N1, meanwhile, in heaven. Missed a couple of shots as well. And the bomb's planted with some more smokes. N1 now going to try and burst out onto the site. Landing some headshots, maybe. Not going to happen. And now Bolts, not for the first time, in a retake situation that looks hopeless. And indeed, it will prove to be just that. Pasha with the headshot. Great start for VP again.
Yeah, just as you said, barreling out of mid right away, dominating the round. Only 1 kill coming in from Tempo Storm there, so it was very well done from Virtus.Pro. Again, looking to see if they can get this map to move on to a map 5. So, of course, the first 2 maps with the Tempo Storm, but VP there just dominated Inferno. We're going to see a little bit of a buy up here from Tempo Storm. The scout on the Hen 1, some upgraded pistols as well. Looks like VP is once more looking to get out here in middle.
That scout could prove to be the power play that Tempo Storm was so desperately looking for. You can hear that the scout shots rattling off as damage is being traded. Oh, Phelps actually connects himself a P250 headshot onto Neo. Pasha, meanwhile, answers back. And that leaves the scout with a 5-7. And just Phelps remaining. Phelps is going to make his pistol work for him, though. But the B site has already been aggressed on from one of VP's players. The issue is that the bomb's been dropped in mid, and the CTs have control over this one with the smoke being thrown out into Garage. This can be even more difficult now for VP to push out on. And he's going to use the opportunity, Phelps, to have the MAC-10 close range. Meanwhile, Bolts just goes huge with the 5-7. And we've seen this before. We've seen Inferno, a couple of the rounds that Tempo Storm did get themselves were in similar buy-ups to this.
This would be a big win for them. Great read there from Bolts to pick up on that. Again, that bomb down mid, as you said. It's just Bialy and Snacks left. Snacks is boosted, but N1 takes him out the scout right away. So it looks like Tempo Storm may have stolen one away. And winning a round like this can really get your mind back into it. You know, you've stolen a round from Virtus.Pro. You've done it early on. And so this could make this quite an interesting game.
I'd say Bialy still has a glimmer of hope in this round. If he can get this next kill, then it's this game back on again. But the time itself is ticking against him. So effectively in a 1v4. And Phelps and Bolts have just managed to get another AK in the hands of Phelps. Just as I was speaking, the MAC-10 was dropped, and looks like Bialy wants no part of this. So instead, he will save the AK and have at least 1 assault rifle kicking through to round number 3. So Tempo Storm, huge props to them. After a really rough Inferno performance, right away, they bounce back against VP.
Yeah, so now we're already all tied up, and we're going to see Tempo Storm be able to kind of steal away a couple of AKs to use in this next round. Hen 1 stays onto the scout. Waiting to see what Lucas and Showtime want to do. Looks like they are going to go ahead and get the FAMAS. Virtus.Pro here just going to be on pistols outside of the AK that Bialy was able to keep into his hands. So we'll see what Virtus.Pro wants to do here. We do see a lot of them gathering up already over towards the A lobby. Again, noted for their aggressiveness on this map. Tempo Storm, just a basic 2-1-2 setup.
Oh, that grenade does a bit less damage than I was expecting. I saw 3 players lighting up. I thought it could be a crippling blow. It still does do significant damage, and Bolts, meanwhile, will peek from quad, double spray down for him, and he's hungry for more. May very well get a 3rd. Indeed, he does. Nearly a 4th, but Taz with his Tech 9 will silence him for now. Damage been done, though. Snacks down to 10. N1's watching the cross with his scout. Bomb's going to get planted, though, from VP. And Showtime's going to charge onto the side. He gets picked off from Taz. Really had no right to take down that kill, but there's the scout. Patient play will reap the rewards for Tempo Storm. Bomb defusing its way as well.
Got a little bit scary there for a sec when Taz gets that kill on Showtime pushing. I mean, usually you can get a pretty good timing on that when the bomb's being planted to get out there and get the kill right away, but Taz was able to put one over. Actually has 3 kills in the round, got all of Virtus.Pro's kills that round. Yes, they do get the bomb plant, but they invested a pretty good bit into that round, so they can't really buy off the back of it, unfortunately. So it looks like it's going to allow Tempo Storm to extend their lead just a little bit. So Bolts, the A-bomb side anchor, they're doing a great job with those initial 3 kills to keep Tempo Storm ahead in the numbers. And now we do have the op in the hands of Hin1. Let's see what he can do with it. Usually all over the place with the op on this map. Very dynamic, so could keep VP guessing on where he might be. Virtus.Pro, again, gathering all their forces over here towards the A-bomb site. Smoke's being lined up. So I'm not sure if they're looking to execute off this or fake, but we'll have to see how it plays out, as it looks like they are pretty much committed to executing at this point. Bomb tucked into the door, so there's really no other place for them to go.
Yeah, there's not a lot else really available for them as well with these pistols. I mean, similar to what we saw on Train, they're just be hoping for the best if they can get a bomb plant. The fact that Snax has claimed a headshot onto Phelps, though, is going to give them some breathing space. Bolts back through the smoke partially with the M4, spraying preemptively in positions that VP may be trying to take for themselves over on Forklift as a Molly's landed as well. A bomb planted and an AK in the hands of Neo means that this round could be even more damaging for Tempo Storm. They could lose a few more weapons from this one. The crossfire is starting to come down from VP, but now we're seeing what the power and the potency of grenades can do. That incendiary could very well start to move on to Taz, and it forces him out into the firing range of Lucas. Bolts is going to go ahead and try and tickle a bomb, forcing out Pasha. There's a first headshot. Pasha could do one better here. The bomb is being defused. It's going to go for the peak. They line up for him. Oh, he very nearly gets his spray down, but Tempo Storm just about will get the defuse, but they lose 4 players in the process, so VP really hammered them in that round.
Exactly. I mean, you see Tempo Storm purposely electing to play the retake on A just because they know that those Tech 9s can be such a huge threat pouring out of the door and getting those close-range fights over there towards Quad. And, you know, so you got to make the retake work, though, and it almost didn't happen for them there. I mean, it came right down to the wire, but they do get it done. So they are going to be up 3-1, but now VP are back onto money. Snax is going to have the op in his hands. See what he's going to be able to do with it. Looks like Snax is taking his op to Squeaky. Don't see this very often. Will Pasha throw the decoy grenade for the opposite open on the door? Curious to see if that would happen. I know something that Luminosity was doing, or if they'll just open it up and he'll just do something standard. Yeah, it's just a standard open and he finds the kill on the Phelps.
Yeah, maybe because it's not the most orthodox of plays. Now it allows Snax to start tapping through the wall, see if he can land a shot into Bolt. It's actually up on the ledge, just to make sure he doesn't get tagged. That's got to be a worrying sign, though, now for Tempo Storm, conceding the first kill. You can see that they're putting a lot of their power over to this A side, splitting up a 2-2.
You very rarely see the op indoor, especially not on the first gun round where it's being used, so definitely caught Tempo Storm off guard, and now VP have a 5-on-4. You begin to see Pasha getting control of checkers here, so opening up VP's options.
No smoke's been thrown just yet, but the second kill comes down from Snax. This time it's N1, who's a key member of Tempo Storm. Lucas is going to be throwing out the incendiary. He can stop the charge, but Pasha's already onto the site, and Lucas clearly has no idea what's about to unfold. He's going to go down, and the second kill from Showtime isn't good enough on Taz. Pasha cleans up single-handedly. VP only lose 1 player, and they committed so much, and this is where the 4 weapons 2 rounds ago really hurts, because now Tempo Storm, their economy is just completely flat-out broke.
Exactly. I mean, you had a 1v1 in the last gun round. They won. So despite winning 3 in a row, they don't have any money here. This is where VP can just go ahead and immediately tie up this game. Tempo Storm onto a full save at this point. The exception of 1 Deagle and 1 P250 being put to use.
I thought Grenade might do quite a bit of damage, but I think he's just able to scamper away. That was N1. He has Phelps also in mid behind the sandbags. It's actually the 2 USB players that have these weapons, so it makes mid extremely vulnerable and weak. And they've both been dispatched. You think maybe they'd run a Deagle or a P250 or something that's a bit more powerful. And speaking of powerful, Lucas one-taps Pasha. But mid control has been completely assumed from VP.
Now they're trying to come up highway, and Bolts is the only one here with just a P250, and he's already been spotted out, so it's not looking like Tempo Storm will get much more done here as VP get the kill. Now they're going to get into the A-bomb site, so the bomb will in fact go down, and they will be on their way to tying things up at this point.
Showtime going to be looking to save his AK. Molotov as well, 3.3k worth of equipment value. That'll do nicely into the next round. VP likely will try and hunt for him. But this is going to be 3-3 now, Dust. So it's looking like Tempo Storm could start to run away with this, but a huge individual play from Pasha charging out onto the site in round 5. Set this one up nicely, and now we're going to be back all even again.
Yes, I mean, we can see that both teams have some fight in this map at this point. You know, neither team's really taken control of the game yet, or the half rather. So it could still really go either way. Tempo Storm have a lot of different CT setups they can use. They play the retake A even on gun rounds. They like to do these triple man B pushes, so they can certainly maybe catch VP off guard. I'm sure that they have, you know, studied their opponent, but I'm sure it's gone both ways. VP certainly aware of Tempo Storm. So it'll be kind of curious to see how the rest of this thing plays out, as Tempo Storm will be able to go back onto a buy, but they will not have an op in use. And in fact, 2 players only on a FAMAS, so making it a little bit harder on themselves that way, but we'll see what they can get done.
It's a whole lot better than it would have been if Showtime didn't save his AK, though. You'd look at someone maybe on a pistol, 5.7, something like that instead, so it does give them a bit of a higher equipment value coming into this round. But Snacks, again, is going to get the first kill, and Tempo Storm seem to be hemorrhaging first kill so far on Cash, and that's so detrimental to a CT side, and it forces Tempo Storm now to just go a bit desperate. You can see Phelps charging through A main's going to get himself killed, and that's all as a result of the Snacks picking up the first kill. M1's going to try and do something, though, to bring this back for his team. Lucas is well off the side. Nicely done. Looking for a second kill as well. This is actually really huge. If Neo goes down, that's going to hamper this aggression. And he will go down now from the dropping bolts. Great turnaround from Tempo Storm after losing the first player, and the bomb now dropped out in B.
Oh, but Bialy catching that flank from Hidden One, so it all comes down to this 1 versus 1. Tempo Storm played it so great, but Bialy still has a chance to win it for VP.
Look at the spray down, lands it as well onto the headshot, and Bolts will fall. And just when he thought Tempo Storm had this, Bialy 1v2 clutch. Thank you very much. Picks up the AWP as well.
Yeah, just that flank came in a bit too fast. There was so much time left. Bialy just able to play it smart. I mean, Lucas did such great work. He was baiting so well for Bolts to get out of heaven and get some kills. He also got one himself, but it just wasn't enough. Bialy there to pick it up, and once again, Tempo Storm with no economy. So this is where VP can begin to get their own bank in order and be able to start putting rounds on the board and get a big lead. And you do see Phelps already going down in this one, so VP looking to get a 5th round pretty quickly here.
Yeah, it should be a formality when you consider the difference in weaponry. Showtime, just with the USP, Deagle for Lucas. Showtime trying to get round the back again. VP have shown that when they try and take mid, they do take it very forcefully and pretty much stack all 5 players in there. So you can understand why Showtime went for that flank. And now Lucas is going to have the same idea. But this will be VP taking a 5-3 lead, almost guaranteed.
I mean, Snacks has been doing so much with this op. I feel like the last few rounds in a row, he's been finding this first kill, whether it was door, middle, B. He's been putting that op everywhere, and he's always been able to get his team a 5-on-4. And so, again, it's good to see Snacks playing well. He was certainly off on Train. He looked great on Inferno, and so far he's doing his job here on Cash, as well as Posh, who's continued to have a great tournament. He's at 11-5 right now. Everyone here from VP putting up the numbers, so definitely looking a lot better from them.
Blast cannon in for N1. Getting that AWP as soon as he can, but at the cost of a bit of vitality, maybe. Remember, though, that this map has, over the last month or two, started to shift more towards the T side, so don't be too dismayed if you're a Tempo Storm fan. They can still pull this back, but VP have been looking a lot stronger over this last couple of maps.
Right. At least Snacks was denied a quick kill with the op this time around, so it's a little bit better here from Tempo Storm. So Hidden One and Phelps definitely need to wake up. They've been some of the key players for this team, but they've had a slow start here on Cash. But Showtime getting a bit aggressive here, able to pick up a kill on the Pasha, but Snacks is able to trade it right back with that AWP. So we're back into a 4-on-4 with still plenty of time left to play with. So we do see Tempo Storm putting 3 men at A, no presence mid, but they do have control of A main. They're just leaving 1 player at B.
Oops. A slight whiff from Bialy. Wanted that smoke to land in connector. It's not going to cost them a great deal, though, because Bialy and Snacks are there once again. They've been really pulling out all the stops for VP. Bolts and N1 have to try and stop this bomb from going down for 40 seconds, but there's no chance of that. The bomb's already over on the B side, and looks like M1 still feels like the A plane may be imminent. Again, though, as soon as the bomb goes down, they may just want to save. They may not even want to think about trying to get this bomb defused.
That's twice now that Phelps has tried the flank through A main. He's been caught. And that was kind of the big difference maker on that round, because it was pretty even at that point. It was, I believe, a 4-on-4. Then Phelps got busted, and Virtus.Pro made him pay for it. So now it's going to be 6-3 for Virtus.Pro. As Hin1 and Bolt's looking to save these guns, but Bolt has already been found out, and so is Hin1, so no guns will be carried over. So VP will be up 6-3 now, and Tempo Storm, due to not being able to save those guns, not going to really be able to put too much into this round, so a chance for VP to keep it rolling.
May have been able to actually rummage together a force buy as well if they managed to save those two weapons with the AWP and the M4. They had a couple players around the mid-3000s. Could have dropped some FAMASs. Instead, though, that option has been taken away from them with an air of ruthlessness that we didn't see from VP in the first two maps. Meanwhile, though, Neo and Bialy going to do their part. 8 HP on the site for Lucas with his deagle. First kill comes down, looking for a second. If he landed that shot, Bialy would have died. But in the meanwhile, the HE comes in, and suddenly it's looking great for Tempo Storm.
What just happened?
It seems like they performed better with pistols.
I don't know.
Swear.
Yeah, I mean, Virtus.Pro just looking for a dedicated B execute, and then all of a sudden you just look up at the kill feed, and Tempo Storm are putting the pistols to work, and they get a 4th round, and did not see that coming whatsoever. And now it's a double opposite up here from Tempo Storm. Hin1 still having his, but now Showtime will also throw it in there. See where they want to take their position. That Showtime will take his over towards the B-bomb site where he plays with Lucas. So Hin1 will have his at mid. And just the combination of Phelps and Bolt still over on the A side. They keep kind of playing this more 2-1-2 setup. So apparently there's a technical problem already. So I'm not sure what's going on with this round. It was called before any damage was exchanged. So they're calling for not live. So they will just go ahead and stop it. So this round will
on the realms of possibility that Pasha or Neo could pick it up for themselves as well. But Snacks, with 1 second left in the freeze time, is going to opt to go for the AWP. And we're going to have 3 AWPs in play on Cash. Tempo Storm putting a lot of investment into this round, though they've got to make this work. After, of course, if you just joined us, they picked up a bit of a shock round with pistols, by and large, to knock down VP a couple of pegs.
And so that double op setup is into effect. Hin1 still over with his at middle. Showtime going to have his, I believe, over towards B. Yes, there he is, onto the site, just watching the main doorway. Meanwhile, VP have slowed it down a lot. They were doing a lot of faster A executes and mid controls. Now they're just going into their default, which is usually Taz at the door and Pasha at B, and the rest is kind of working A main and middle, which seems to be the case. You do see Bialy here in A main just kind of waiting things out. This time, no aggression from Phelps. He's content just to sit back at the forklift and just play his spot. He's got burned a couple of times pushing through, so he's going to change the things up.
Molly down, just trying to make sure that there's nobody on checkered side. Both of Tempo Storm's members, which is Showtime and Lucas on the B site itself. Showtime, one of the players with the AWP on the side of the CTs. But the bomb's actually moving towards A main at this point. Pasha was taking control over Vents, his partner in crime of Neo, still on the B side. Maybe trying to fake this out, maybe keep the CTs locked down on the B side, maybe try and draw one of the A players across. Mid control has been picked up as well from VP, and with 30 seconds to go, they're going to be pushing the button and trying to charge on in. Phelps is there, though. Deals with Taz. And Bialy goes down next, and with all these incendiaries being placed from the CTs, it's really a rough ask for VP to get out on the site. Pasha and Neo, both incredibly low. N1 does connect the first shot onto Pasha. And now with his USP, that should be good enough to deal with Neo. 10 seconds, he's going to have to get a move on here. And there we go, the USP is good. And Tempo Storm have converted that pistol round into a rifle one as well.
Nicely done there. That's a pretty clean win for Tempo Storm. They were never really in danger of losing that round. They were doing all the right things. Bolts, again, just being very good on this A-bomb site. As Tempo Storm, very different from Virtus.Pro. They very rarely go for any aggressive mid-steps, whereas VP really loved to use the 1-3-1. So kind of a clash in styles, but it worked out well there for Tempo Storm thanks to the fact that their A-site players, Phelps and Bolts, were able to find the kills. And now VP, they're on a full buy, so they're looking for what seems to be a very heavy B-execute. Showtime will be here with the op. Lucas inside the site, rotate a little bit off. It's right there at mid, so it could come pretty quickly. But will there be any read? Tempo Storm not getting aggressive for information in A main, so they're not going to know that VP are posturing up here inside the B lobby. So it's really going to come down to Showtime and Lucas holding their own here.
Holding it for now. But VP still have time to play with, try and get in the heads of Tempo Storm. If they can take even one of those players off of the B site and transition them over to A, like a game of chess.
Hin1 did rotate, by the way, in the heavens, so they have both ops here now. So this has been a good read from Tempo Storm to get Hin1 over here.
Well, so far, so good for Tempo Storm, but they're about to get aggressed on. The flashbang, absolutely perfect. Flashes both Showtime and N1, so neither of the AWPs are in play. Molotov's landing in as well. That forces him to get out of dodge, and in doing so, that makes the site itself incredibly vulnerable. It's been completely flushed out. The CT's hemorrhaging losses left, right, and center. Phelps through vent, though, is going to try and do something to stop this push from coming down. He should have landed that kill. And now, as a result, Neo will not only survive, but get the bomb planted. The bomb could have gone anywhere, could have squirmed away from the terrorists, putting them back into a precarious position, and now Snax is just holding. Phelps is going to tap at least his frag, but should be killed afterwards. 2 kills for him. Snax has to land the shot. If he misses, the CTs very well could get back on. In the meanwhile, the rest of his team has fallen down. So in actual fact, Phelps can just hold this position while his other 2 teammates go into the site. Snax is now the player that has to do it. He must be kicking himself right now that his teammates weren't able to do anything. The first kill goes down, but there's N1. Will return the favor, but it looks so good for VP.
Snax had Phelps strapped. He was like, please peek me. And Phelps just stayed in his position and gets 2 kills from that spot. That's massive. Really well done there from Tempo Storm, particularly Phelps. I don't know if he had a read that the op was there and he just didn't want to jump across and give him a chance, so he just kept holding this corner position. But if it was, that's intelligent play there. And now they tied up the game 6-all. Virtus.Pro is still going to be able to make a full buy here, though, and Snax is going to have the op, and he's been pretty good with it throughout the half. He'll get boosted up now to see what he can find, and he does get that kill on the Hin1. So again, getting the better of Hin1. Every time they've met up for a straight-up duel, it's been Snax to take it, but Tempo Storm, look at this. They've been able to find kills across the map, and they actually are going to get the man advantage back.
Certainly will, but again, mid-control has been assumed from VP. Neo's going to be pushing into connector. And if he can get round the back of the CTs, then this round is ripe for the taking for VP. That being said, though, now this flank, this lurk stops being as effective because the rest of his teammates are falling down. The bomb's still out in mid, so he's going to have to go ahead and get himself and afterwards, but at least 1 kill came down. Bolts, though, instantly turns his attention towards the truck and will put him down with haste, and a second kill comes in for Bolts, and Tempo Storm go from a 3-6 deficit to a 7-6 lead, and all off the back of that pistol round.
Yeah, that was the kickstart to it. And then even that last round they just won over at the B bomb site. I mean, VP did all the right things. They stopped Showtime from being able to use his op at lower. They mollied off Hin1 at heaven, so he couldn't do anything. And then somehow Phelps through the vents just makes these crazy plays and gets him that retake. And then Tempo Storm just have a clean round there. Surviving with 2 members, always staying a man ahead of VP through the most part. After Snax got the initial pick, they recovered very well. And so now they have actually forced VP onto just Tech 9s and an AK. And they're all going to be looking to flat out the A door. They are electing to play into the site. There's no retake A this time for Tempo Storm. So these Tech 9s, they can close the distance on quad. This can actually be quite scary.
Bolts has so many adversaries to deal with, and there's strength in numbers from Virtus.Pro coming out of the woodwork. Phelps, meanwhile, hasn't been spotted from this position. They're going to line up from double spray down, should be in effect, but can't quite shift it across the pasture. Gets on the second time of asking. Comes out water, 1 tap, that is onto Neo. And now the auto sniper, the AWP and the M4 should be good enough to contend with Bjarly. The good news for him, the bomb has at least been planted, and he has some smoke to hide in. And he's going to disappear, and so will his life. N1's auto sniper comes good. Tempo Storm are on a tear. They're going to be 8-6 in the lead now.
And that's another big play from Phelps with the hat trick, and he absolutely loves to play that spot. I see him there so often, just playing the edge of that smoke, catching people off guard. He just kind of plays it patient, lets people trickle out of A main, and just waits to kind of ninja them from behind. And also, he's going to avoid any type of pressure pushing out of the doorway. So he just puts himself in a great position to land the multi-frag. And we talked about how Phelps started off this half quite quiet. I think he was actually severely negative. Now he's up to 10 and 12. You've seen him get a couple of multi-frag rounds, and so now he's getting back into it. And that's great news for Tempo Storm, as they've had quite the winning streak going now. They're up 8-6 at this point, but there's Pasha finding Showtime. So they tried to get aggressive into the B lobby and did not pan out.
And that's surprising to me because the majority of their rounds have been more passive plays, like allowing VP to hang themselves ultimately, to play slow, to charge in and end up getting just completely repelled. So going for that early peak from Showtime, out of character for how Tempo Storm have got their rounds, and that really could be what ends up losing them this.
It's also the first time we've seen Pasha on the op on this T-side cache. And I mean, they haven't put an op at B before, but look at this boost. Will they check it?
No, they won't, is the answer. The bomb has been dropped now. Bolt's going back in for seconds, and he's going to get it and survive as well with the smoke down. He's got 100% of his health remaining. That is one hell of a passage of play for Tempo Storm and Bolts in particular.
I also love how he jumped over the door so that guy Squeaky couldn't punish him when he dropped down, and he gets his second kill. That's incredible stuff there from Bolts. But Taz gets a kill to give his team still a chance, but it's a 2v3.
And with Taz on 28 health, you fear the worst for VP in this round. 40 seconds left, though. Snax has managed to get himself onto B, and he's got the bomb. So this bomb is going to go down. Now all Taz has to do is try and escape through the A main entrance towards the B site, or catch them as they rotate. And that's what they're going to do, but he misses his chance. He'll be livid with himself. At least one kill would have been good there. Instead, Snax has to fend off a 1v3. And if that auto sniper starts to rat-a-tat-tat through the wall, by the way, he's likely a dead man. But it won't. His position has been given away and his life will be lost. And again, you go back to that moment. If Taz gets at least one kill on the cross, that could have been good enough for VP.
Snax also showed his hand pretty early there. Maybe if he'd been a bit more patient, maybe he could have actually kind of shocked someone and gave himself a better chance to win. But regardless, it's been Tempo Storm playing really well. I'm not sure how many rounds they won in a row there at the very end. I think it's at least 6, because I think at one point it was 4-6.
It was 3-6.
3-6, okay, yeah. So, I mean, they won the last 6 rounds of the half. Incredible recovery there from him. Again, Phelps woke up. He started playing very well. Lucas played B very smart to stay alive in time for rotations. So it was just across the board a brilliant effort there from Tempo Storm. And now they've taken control of this game back. They've gotten 9 rounds on the CT side. Their T side generally better on this map. So this is definitely great news for them.
I'd also like to highlight, you said it across the board, but it was Bolts that really shone. 19 for 10 on that first half. He was absolutely crazy. He got a bunch of spree kills, a bunch of impact kills on the A site in particular, especially in that last round, being on the boost, getting the kill, dropping the bomb, then relocating to the back of the site, using the door as a bit of safety. So very well played from Bolts. Without him, this could have been a completely different show altogether. And also in the pistol round, it was him that picked up 2 or 3 5-7 kills. Yeah,
exactly. But now that we're going to the second half, this should be a little bit different. I mean, again, Virtus.Pro would love to actually play mid. I don't think we saw Tempo Storm played a single time outside of a passive opper. But, you know, it's Snax loves to get into the vents, loves to push mid. He's usually going to have support from Taz on the highway, who loves to just play that position. So they're very good position for Taz. It's his highway role on the A-bomb site. Neo going to be anchoring in there in B. Sometimes you'll see him with an op. So they love to play that 1-3-1. When you look at Tempo Storm, they love to do the mid control just as VP does, but they also do have some nice executes cooked up. So if it is a 1-3-1 setup where the sites are a little bit more vulnerable, those could actually work out well for them if they decide to throw them out there. But it's all going to start with this pistol round to see if Tempo Storm can double their lead to kick things off, or whether or not VP can just tie this thing right back up, as Tempo Storm will be sending all of their numbers over here towards the boost area in A main. And a nade comes in and does so much damage.
The shred is real. 3 players get destroyed by that grenade. And they're going to be finished off. Pasha, the first kill for VP, gets taken down instantly, though. So even though the grenade did significant damage, the kills are going the way of Tempo Storm. It's going on better, in fact. Taz and Neo. All that remain, and Taz just got himself headshot. He's going to get flashed from the right-hand side. There's just way too many players to contend with. And now Neo has to try and pick up some serious frags on the cross. He's got the USP. There's the first one. Can he get 2 and 3? You could see him even, like, the game sense is so solid. He even looked up to Catwalk, assuming they try and push him from multiple levels and layers. Second kill comes down, and the bomb in the hands of N1, but he's actually got the HP deficit. He's going to get tagged up as he tries to fake the bomb. Neo can really do this. There's a lot of time left, so N1 can try and fake, maybe going through squeaky door or some shenanigans like that, but Neo's done such a phenomenal job of even taking us to this kind of situation in the first place. N1's going to do just that. He's going to go through the squeaky door.
Neo knows it, though. He saw the decoy thrown, so he knows exactly what's going on. He's going to put himself in the perfect position. Unless N1 doubles back to A, Neo is probably going to win this round. What a great clutch he's been able to develop. Let's see if he finishes it off.
Spots N1. Oh, N1 gets a headshot back in return. The next bullet finishes this. Neo's correctly called. It's going to be the A play. The next shot means everything. The flash lands in the face, but he doesn't hold firm in position. He decides to back away to the truck instead, and he's going to look for the frags. How is anyone still alive?
No
10
idea.
seconds. The bomber's going to get planted this time. And this is such a crucial round as well. In the semi-final, so much rests on this, you've got to feel. Neo's got 8 bullets. That should be enough. N1, meanwhile, Biding his time, peeks out, gets the clutch, and Tempo Storm will take the 10-6 lead. That has got to be brutal for Neo.
I mean, the mind games there. That is the most tense, drawn-out 1v1 I have seen. That was so crazy. At any point in time, you thought the other might win it. Neo particularly looked like he was going to win the clutch for quite some time. He was getting all these crazy headshots at the USP. He was making the perfect reads. He was, judging Hin1's positioning perfectly. He had everything going for him, but then somehow Hin1 hits that one shot in the mid-garage, and that changed everything. It put Neo's HP in the red zone as well, and then Hin1 just able to find a way to get that plan off, able to win the round, and that is crazy stuff there. That really is going to just kind of fuel Tempo Storm even more, I think. But also, I mean, Neo did hit some nice shots there as well, so VP can't be too disheartened by it. So you are going to see them stacking up on this B-bomb site.
Yeah, 4 players strong. The only player is Pasha, who's on A, but he does have the scout. And of course, we know he's definitely proficient when it comes to the scoped weapons. Neo, nearly the hero of the last round, finds himself with Bialy on the B site. Snacks just behind them. Taz on headshot. A decent crossfire with decent pistols if the B play comes in. That's a big if, though. The bomb's been dropped. They're going to go on a little bit of a scouting mission here at VP. Tempo Storm, pardon me, through mid. The vents have been cracked down, so that safety net now. VP know that the charge is coming in. Can they land the headshots to accompany it? The answer is yes so far. Bialy is there, and he's got his teammates still to the right-hand side. Lucas, meanwhile, with the AK-47, comes in with 2 kills, and Snacks on headshot. Needs to land some 1 digs. He's been tagged down to 1 HP, and he's not going to be able to do anything else. And Pasha, who'd made the long trek from A to B, is going to make a bit of a further journey towards the grave. 11-6, Tempo Storm, looking so good. VP will be on a save.
That's another big win for Tempo Storm. They actually ran into the trap that VP had set up there on that B-bomb site, but they were still able to break through. So that's a big win for them. They're now up to 11-6, very likely a 12th round around the corner, as VP are just going to be on the pistols this time. Not even upgraded ones at this point. A couple of P250s, yes, but not the same threat as those 5.7s and such from the previous round.
So VP on their CT side, where the economy is such a nightmare to control, could be facing a deficit of 6 rounds, which looks more and more likely as the pressure is being continually applied from Phelps this time. Through vent, spots a second player. It's going to be Pasha. Easy kill on the MP250 is rattling out, and Snacks is somehow still alive. Alive for a lot longer than he should have been. Bialy, meanwhile, pushes through, and he gets himself headshot close range from Showtime. 12-6, but now VP will have a bye. They've got to make this one count, though.
Yeah, this is a big round here for Virtus.Pro. If they want to kind of make it easier on themselves to come back, they really need to grab this one. Without it, they'll be right back to saving, and Tempo Storm likely move this up to 14-6 before VP can buy again. So they really need to figure out the best course of action. Neo will have the op. Usually he's going to be playing over towards the B-bomb site with that. It's not going to be Pasha. It's one of the maps where Pasha actually does still op on the TT side, but he won't have it this time. Not enough money for the double op, and Neo wants to have it here to play this B-bomb, so I try to catch Bolts crossing over here.
Lucas will be the first victim of war, falling to the hands of Pasha, who's going to go one better. And look where he's pushed as well, right up mid. He's in T-spawn, he knows where the bomb is. This is a fantastic position to be in.
I don't know if he got counter boosted or does he just push mid-main, but either way, he's basically won the round. He's got the bomb down, he's got 2 kills. Tempo Storm are going to have a tough time recovering. That's a 3rd kill from Pasha. So he's just been all over the place. They're just kind of letting him loose, letting him play his aggro style, and he's probably come up with the round for him here at this point. He's going to find a 4th, could even find the ace.
This ace is very doable. Phelps trying to make his way to the site. This is where you'd love to have a smoke. You'd love to have something to block off at least one of these angles. And Neo, it will take the ace away from Pasha, but he will not care. It was a crucial round. VP win it, and they only lose 1 weapon, so that's going to do the world of good to their economy as well.
Yeah, that's a really nice round there from Virtus.Pro. Again, I didn't get to see how Pasha was able to get into that position, but he certainly was the key element of VP taking that one. There is still money to buy here for Tempo Storm, but without this one, they would actually be forced to save in the next round. That's where Virtus.Pro can start closing the gap. So, again, another big round up here to determine how this game's going to go, who's going to take control of this half. Neo, again, has that op over towards B. Bolt's going to be playing over here. It used to be Showtime lurking B for Tempo Storm, but now it is Bolts. So a little bit of a position change once more from them.
Ooh, Neo. Needlessly losing 32 health. Continues desperate to get himself back into a decent Overwatch position. It cost him quite a bit of his health, nearly a third of it. And you got to wonder as well, if VP do come back, that play from Pasha could have been the catalyst. That could have got things rolling. There's been 2 or 3 very important moments here on Cash so far. Absolutely. And you feel like there's another couple twists and turns down the road.
As we do see just Tempo Storm still in their default positions. They still haven't really gone for control of anything. They're not trying to get mid. Snacks here in the vents. Loves to play this spot. He's going to be able to catch Phelps right away. So it is VP once again getting the opening kill on the round. The rest of Tempo Storm seem to be gathering up now. We're towards A main and Squeaky Door. You do see Showtime pushing out at the fire, smoke up at the forklift. So they want to start trying to move into this A-bomb site.
Yarli has a difficult situation ahead of him, but he does have some help just behind. Does what he can. Snacks will bag himself the molly kill. VP retain a player advantage. Only just though. Snacks is low, about 50% of his health. 25 seconds, the bomb now starting to move over on the B side.
They have a player in there
already cleared it out. Yeah, he knows that this is clear, but the problem is that's only half the battle because Neo's waiting and he's landed the up shot, 15 seconds. And just to add salt in the wounds as well, there's no smoke. So Neo can just continually peek this. N1 needs to land the shot, 8 seconds to go. Oh, Lucas actually just drives by, picks himself up the kill. Snacks, meanwhile, will put down Lucas, and that's the end of the round. As time itself was ticking in against them, 12-8. VP have brought it back to a 4-round deficit.
And I mean, it's just Bialy doing good things there inside the A-bomb. So it's one of his key CT positions in the map pool where he's able to do a lot of work. He's able to, kind of just put a halt to Tempo Storm, force them to backtrack and head to B. But as you know, there was no smoke to block off Neo from just having free reign with that op. And he stayed in place and he was able to get the round. So now VP up to 8, Tempo Storm just on pistols. They've had a couple of crazy wins with these. But you got to think that VP's looking to get to their 9th round at this point as everyone from Tempo Storm gathered up here in the B lobby looking to explode onto this site. Neo going to be in there with the SMG.
Oh, that pop flash wrecking the terrorists. I think it also caught a couple of CT players as well as they're looking trying on the site. Look at Pasha, sneaky. Maybe feels like he should have done better from that position, but still the weapon advantage firmly in the hands of VP, even though it is the 3-on-3. Just P250 is the order of the day for the Brazilians.
Oh, this flank, the timing.
Ooh, through the wall, cheeky from Snacks, but as you say, the flank will pick him up afterwards. Showtime has a chance to make this really sting for VP if he can clutch this. Or picked up, nearly lands the no-scope, but VP just about hold on. But again, they lose 3 players.
So it is Tempo Storm making that round a bit expensive here, which can hurt on the CT side when you're doing a lot of rebuying. It might force you to save a bit earlier, even if you are on a winning streak. So that could play a factor later on into the half as we are going to see Tempo Storm back onto a full buy. They do have everyone with smokes, and they also have 3 Molotovs. You can use that to blanket the A-bomb site, like a threat-style nip execute on A, for example, but also can be used to clear out checkers and such on B. So it doesn't really give us any read just yet, but we do see some players quickly being boosted, so maybe they want to use them to get control of middle.
Full buy from both teams. Just the one AWP in play, and a Galil in the hands of Bolts. Again, standard setup. Saw Nip running very similar strats to this that Malmö went. Effectively, they're waiting for the CTs to push and make mistakes. But now, Tempo Storm decide to explode out of mid. Somehow, someway, no kills have gone down just yet, although we've had a lot of confrontation. Fire nade lands into the vents. You can see Phelps wanted to get himself up there and have a different angle on towards Taz in the highway box. Flashbang connects it, allows Taz to go out and have a wider peek. And indeed, he will bear the fruit of that with at least 1 kill. Bialy answers back, and Tempo Storm find themselves struggling. They've only got a grenade and a smoke to play with 48 seconds on the timer.
Yeah, so they get control of mid, but it was at a pretty big cost because they're actually a man down, but they're going to be working towards A. There's only really 1 player here to defend. The rotate's a little bit off. It's up to Bialy. This corner rarely gets checked, though, so I think he's in a great position to do something. This is a great spot to play when you have a 1-man advantage.
Yeah, there's so many angles to cover that they may not look at this. Bialy gets 1. You could see him frantically trying to readjust his aim. Not quite sure what happened there. Felt like he maybe should have had 2. Snacks, meanwhile, puts down N1. He was looking to jump on the forklift. Bolts now. Maybe looking through the smoke. 13 seconds. VP drag it back yet another round. So from, what, 12-6 to 12-10 now. 4 rounds on the bounce.
So, I mean, VP are getting right back into this one. Tempo Storm was looking pretty good there for a while. Maybe like they were looking to try to close this thing out in 4 maps, but now all of a sudden VP are just 2 rounds away from tying this up and perhaps moving us into that 5th map, Mirage. So we are going to see Tempo Storm just buying up slightly here. Some Tech 9s and utility put into this, but not dipping too deep into their pocket. Still trying to make sure they can do something. But yeah, again, a nade doing a lot of damage to kick off a round.
Man, Lucas just got dunked so hard there. 21 HP left.
And look at this, VP playing a retake. Hey, this is a smart setup. They don't want to deal with these Tech 9s. They just want to come in and try to retake later on. But a nice scenario to stop them from getting out of the doorway.
The smokes, though, you could see that Pasha wanted to peek round to Forklift, but there's smokes in his face, and Velt's got himself 2 kills. The bomb has been planted as well. Again, though, with no Kevlar other than Phelps, who's already very low, you feel like VP should be good for this retake. Decent positions assumed, and actually there is a flank in its tracks, and it's N1. He's only got a Glock. He'd prefer to have a better pistol. Doesn't matter, though, because Taz instantly headshots him down. It's a 2-on-2 now. Showtime chimes in for his P250 kill. Let's charge his right-hand side. Here comes Bialy, and the retake is successful. But not for the first time. Tempo Storm and a pistol round take VP right to the wire.
I mean, these rounds have been quite close, but VP's been the one to sneak them out lately. Now they're just 1 round away from tying this thing up. But with that bomb plant, there's going to be a lot of money here from Tempo Storm. But again, they haven't really won themselves a whole lot of rounds here with guns in their hands. And we're going to have another opportunity with the op to see if he can get something done. Pasha will have the op this time as well to play that A bomb side or middle, along with Neos over at B. Actually, it'll be Snacks taking it this time.
Had a good spawn to have a quick peek down B. Something that Showtime tried at the end of the first half and got punished from Pasha. This time, no such luck for Tempo Storm. There will be Bolts watching for the potential push around the back from the CTs. They'll still be very cognizant of the fact that Pasha's mid-play completely turned the momentum of this map on its head. So they'll likely be hoping that they can stop any further aggression like that in the future.
Yes, again, it's just Tempo Storm playing it quite default here, trying to get out mid again. Taz playing this highway position, a great spot for him, trying to stop Phelps from getting into the vents. He has spotted out Neo, though, in the vent, so a nice kill, but the response. The nade comes in, and there is this boosted position from Bialy. He does find the kill, so again, Tempo Storm find themselves a man down.
Bialy on the boost, they know he's here. He's being charged out from multiple angles, very well dealt with from Tempo Storm. Showtime goes in for a second. Here comes Lucas, and suddenly Snacks will be scratching his head, wondering what the hell just happened over on the A site. But the fact of the matter is, the bomb's been planted, and he, with an open incendiary to his name, has a very big ask of him. And again, yeah, I was about to say, I think this has got save written all over it.
Absolutely. Want to carry this over. Again, a lot of these rounds have been expensive on Virtus.Pro, so it's not as if they have crazy amounts of cash in storage, so they need to move this op over to the next round to help them out a little bit here. And I mean, Tempo Storm, great work. They limited Bialy to 1 kill on that spot. That's very efficient. It was just in the blink of an eye. Showtime had 2 kills, and it changed the whole course of the round. I mean, for a while, it looked like VP was actually going to hold it pretty well, but Showtime had other thoughts, and now it's Tempo Storm making it 13-11. Starting to get their money in order. VP here, not with much. There's an op that can be dropped and 2 players can buy, but there'll still be 2 out of the 5, probably without much to work with.
You got to feel as well in round 24, the determining key moment was when Bialy went down, because he was in such a good position. He did have another player with him on the site that didn't really have his back covered, but this will force VP into a buy, so this could be it for Tempo Storm. You win this round, you're looking at least 15-11. More than likely, this could be the last chance for VP. If they lose this, they could be bound out of the tournament.
Absolutely. Losing this, I mean, money's still going to be quite low. They forced up what they could into this. I mean, that could be Tempo Storm getting the map point. If they win this round, this could be a 2-for-1 deal over here, as the door has been open for Hin1 to see if he can find something with this op. So far, no one's showing themselves just yet. No one's at the forklift. They've both backed up inside of the site, but Phelps has been able to sneak out into middle. There is a player that's the connector. The timing could be really strange here. If Pasha takes the right time, the peek, he could just catch Phelps in the back.
Downside of this player is if he peeks at the wrong moment from his perspective, he himself could be falling down. But nope, that's not the case. Pasha and Bialy before him have gone big. Molly lands right next to Bialy, relocates, lands himself 1 frag, and he knows there's at least a player in Squeak. He's being tagged up. In the meanwhile, Bolt does come back. He's been one of the stars for Tempo Storm, at least on the CT side, and now he's going to have to take that form over to the terrorists. Showtime does more damage than maybe he should have from that position, but Vods gets caught from A main, and VP in a forced buy scenario are going to force out a timeout from Tempo Storm.
Not a bad time to take it either. I mean, you got to think about this. They do have the money to make a buy in the next round. You do have a chance to reset VP's economy. So this round can literally win Tempo Storm the series and move them back into another round to see if Tempo Storm are going to inch closer to the grand finals or whether or not VP can get something going here. It looks like Tempo Storm deciding not to buy into this one.
Dot Vamos from Pasha. Nice touch to that. Yeah, and the round you're talking about was in the 19th round where Pasha pushed through mid and got 4 kills. Now it's at 12-6, but Snacks isn't interested about the past. He wants to be landing frags right here, right now. His teammates in no man's land, Neo, just get swarmed by enemies. Snacks repositioning. Oh my goodness, a 3rd kill. Why the hell not? Lucas got round the back of Pasha. So 2 kills do go the way of Tempo Storm, but VP is an important round for them to hold on to, but this is the reason the pause came in. For this round here, it's going to be a full buy. N1 has a choice. He's got 5.1k. Does he bite the bullet and go for a glass cannon, or does he just rocket out with an AK? And he seems to be really caught in 2 minds about this decision. This is a big decision as well. It's going to be the AWP.
Yeah, big play there from Snacks. I mean, having to deal with those close range battles with the AWP can be really tricky. He was able to stay alive there at the back of the box, and Pasha able to rotate in perfectly. So really getting a job done here on the CT side. This time, Tempo Storm setting up at A very early on. They're not doing their default. They're really just gathering up. Again, they like to sneak Phelps to the red box, so maybe keep an eye on to that, see if he can get in a nice position. As here come all the smokes and Molotovs onto A.
They go for the super aggressive play. Piali switches to his grenade, the worst possible moment. Actual fact, he got naded anyway, but if he hadn't been naded, he would have been shot regardless. Pasha up on the box, seeing what he can get done. A 1-for-1 trade. At least he does land a shot, but it's at the cost of his life. And Tempo Storm now have got themselves onto the site. The thing is, though, that Lucas is almost stranded on the site by his lonesome. Bolt is on forklift. They're not entirely sure where the CTs are coming from. They've got a player in A main as well.
There's also a big flank coming through Squeaky Door at this point.
Yeah, Neo's coming, isn't he?
That could be a big difference maker.
There we go. He's going to get himself the kill. So a huge difference maker overall. And that's the problem. Lucas was just by himself for far too long. They wanted to get that bomb planted so they could assume different positions, but instead now Taz with the spray needs to get this kill. If N1 lands the kill onto Taz, this could be absolute catastrophe. Not the case. Lucas has a 1v3 ahead of him. Very nearly gets the first kill onto Neo's going to have a second bite. No, he gets flashbanged and the USP's good enough, and VP have a retake in the lead, 14-13.
There's a massive maneuver there from Neo. Getting in the Squeaky Door was left open, so he was able just to sneak in there and grab that kill onto the forklift player and then get into the site and find himself another one. So really well done. That's a big round to lose if you're Tempo Storm. Now, you're buying up all that you can to stop VP from going to map point, but you can see it's not a whole heck of a lot, just some Tech 9s and a Galil, but of course those guns can still be dangerous, so it's not as if VP are out of the woods yet, but they are much closer now to getting us into Mirage and making this a full 5-map series.
Not over just yet, not by any stretch of the imagination, but Taz has gone quite some way to making it a reality now for VP. This would be one hell of a comeback if they can take us to Mirage, and it's looking good. Bolts is the last to fall, and VP have 2 map points. And Tempo Storm's economy will be in a very similar position to the last round. 3,000, a couple players. They're going to be able to get a couple more Galils out, maybe an AK as well in the hands of Lucas. But far from ideal. No warp, lack of grenades.
And what's crazy is we were talking about how Tempo Storm had that one game against Ignitas Mirage where all 5 players got into the 20s, a very rare occasion, but if Taz can find 1 kill in this round, it will be VP having all 5 players with at least 20 kills in this map. And so that is really impressive stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later, but right now let's focus in on Tempo Storm, their last couple of chances to see if they can't still take this map, but Snacks and Bialy finding the kills.
Bialy with 2. Now only has 9 HP. How is he still alive? He could actually round this one off. He's got 3 kills already, and look where the bombs dropped. It couldn't be in a worse position. And that's it. VP have taken us from a 2-0 to a 2-2 on maps, and we are going to be reaching the 5th map of Mirage. And as you said, very impressive play. Everybody dropping a 20 bomb.
Really well done. I mean, every single player on the CT side for VP was doing their job. Pasha with the op, he was doing great things. When he was holding mid passively, he was making plays. Neo, great op work on the B-bomb side. Also that crazy flank at Squeaky Door to win the previous round. You see Bialy consistently anchoring that A-bomb site, not allowing presence. Again, Taz always gets credited for being this crazy good inner bomb site player on Trim, but he's also very good at playing that highway position on Cash. He was able to cause a lot of problems for Tempo Storm, and it was just an all-out brawl throughout. It looked for a